Hello, hello, all. So let's see what's going on over here. All right. It says here the scent of a female can trigger early end in male mice. Bruh. That's wild. It's like they can sense the nagging from a mile away. Uh, Smelling a potential new mate could impact how long an animal lives and its ability to reproduce. All right. Science found that simply expose, but what's the, how much longer are we talking? Are we talking like a couple of months? Like I'll give up a couple of months for some, some new tail. Scientists found that simply exposing male mice to the scent of unknown females during middle to old age decreases the number of litters they could sire later in life. Well, they're middle to old age anyways. It doesn't really matter. What? Just listen. Give these mice some new tail, all right? They deserve it. If these female odor sniffing males were allowed to mate, they were also likelier to to die earlier than males who didn't smell outsider females before mating. They died happy though. They died happy, and they were laughing at those other dudes who lived longer with their old chick. Oh man. The researchers from New Zealand and Australia say their study demonstrates that sensing the social environment may play a role in the aging process. Only when you're old, when you're middle to old. Uh, our results add to the growing evidence that indirect cues from mates can influence the aging process. Biochemical scientist Michael Garat from the University of what was it, Otago in New Zealand, and his colleagues in their published paper. Responses induced by opposite sex odors may be important in priming physiology in anticipation of reproduction so that animals can effectively engage in social interactions that are important for fitness. Hmm. Response induced by opposites may be important in priming physiology in anticipation so that animals can effectively. So you're basically saying it primes them to hit the gym so they can get more tail. Is that what's happening? Recent research on fruit flies suggests that the nervous system may allocate resources between reproduction and aging based on environmental signals. Yeah, well, survival one way or the other, right? You pass on your genetics or you live a little bit longer. Which one is more important? Pheromones from mates can speed up aging in worms. Damn, even the worms getting it? And does it speed up the aging in the females, or is it just the males? And fruit flies, regardless of reproduction. Okay, so it's regardless of reproduction. So I think that means it's from both sides, based on activating brain reward pathways related to mating, allowing fruit flies to mate, help them live longer. Uh, what? Allowing them to mate, help them live longer, but it was unclear if this happened in invertebrates. In vertebrates, not invertebrates. God damn it. Like us. Okay, so the fruit flies live longer, but we might not. Higher reproductive activity in earlier life is associated with a shorter lifespan in some mammals. Some mammals, not God. Because I've had Anyways, but studies suggest exposure to certain smells can modify this effect. Odors from adult female mice can delay puberty in young females. Yeah, yeah, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Keep those young them young chicks from getting their hot pants. You know what I mean? Uh, uh and it's just like it just shows like the competition between young and older females it just doesn't end like regardless uh, of the mammalian species. and allow them to live longer. In male mice, on the other hand, living and mating with females seem to influence metabolic rate and body weight, and living with females can extend male lifespans. Bruh, come on now. uh, uh, Maybe I think there was a study before that done with mice that they, after mating a couple of times, they tend to like just kind of give up on life, something like that. So I think it might just be a mice thing where they're just like, I don't know, they're just depressed. Like they just have like a depressive issue. And then when they get some females around them, they're forced to live life, you know, grab it by the testicles and gonads. Garrett and his team wanted to see how exposure to unknown female odors. Well, that's got to be like you know, that's got to be messed up, right? Like they can smell new tail, but they're just like, where is she? This has got to mess with their heads a little bit. It's like they'll live longer just to find out where she's at. Female odors would affect reproductive aging in male mice. They had two ideas about how it would turn out. It could speed up aging, although mating could counteract that effect. All right, let them bust and live longer. All right. Or exposure to new female scent could mimic the positive effects of mating. Man, just let them get it in. Potentially improving survival and slowing reproductive aging. All right. Yeah, but then you just have one mice that lives longer when you can have a bunch of mice that live longer. Like it just seems counterproductive from a survival standpoint. Neither hypothesis was quite right in the end. Okay, so they're wrong either way. The researchers studied four groups of males in different societal environments: those living alone, those living with two females, those living alone but exposed to the smell of two absent females, and those living with two females while also exposed to the odor of two absent females. All right. Those are the ones right here. You know what I mean? All groups lived in these conditions from 10 to 24 months, and throughout middle and old age, when male mice naturally experience reduced fertility. At 24 months old, all the males that were still alive in each group were paired alone with two young females. Yeah, young ones too, in their old age, chilling, living the mice life. You know, I ain't mad at it. Two young females for 64 days to assess how their prior living conditions impacted their mating and fertility. Males in the two groups that are exposed to absent female odors had fewer litters later in life. Well, of course they did. The females were absent. They're just like constantly looking around. They didn't want to ruin their chance with a new chick. Their old chick's still right here, so they didn't want to, say, and they're trying to, this was true even for males that lived with other females. The link between unknown female smells and fertility wasn't apparent in younger mice. Yeah, the younger ones, they don't know what's going on. Is that the old men, they know. They're like, the end is near, sonny. I'm gonna clap some cheeks. Although also letting males mate with females earlier in life didn't affect reproductive aging. All right, all right. All right, so you want to get it out of the way early, which suggests the smell of absent females is somehow playing a bigger role in later life fertility. Gives those old men some a new spark. They don't need Viagra anymore. Thus, the perceived presence of females via olfactory cues within the environment, when not matched to the physical presence of those females in the environment, impairs later life fertility. Yeah, man, they're depressed. They can smell it, but they can't see it. Older male mice in experiments generally had fewer sperm, no shit, smaller testicles, damn, and other signs of reduced fertility compared to younger ones. Well, that's just life. Smaller testicles, though, you'd think it would just hang lower and be the same size. However, smelling females didn't affect those reproductive factors. Uh, oh, all right. The mechanisms responsible for reduced longevity in males exposed to female odor remain to be established. Okay, so they did an experiment and they learned nothing. One possibility is that earlier exposure to female odors increased male reproductive investment early in life. Yeah, you expose them to young, they start figuring things out. And this generated the associated fertility and mortality trade-off. Sensing new females in the environment may cause changes in male mice that make them more invested in male competition. Yeah, hell yeah, more invested in that. They smell the chicks on the horizon. They know what's coming, and they got to be the best. You got to be the very best, and no one ever. A key part of their reproductive investment, males in this study didn't encounter other males, but Garrett and team suggest physical changes could occur to help them if they did meet other males. I think a combination, right? If they had other male competitors keeping them sharp and fit, and they got chicks in the horizon, you know what I mean? They might live longer. Our results show that exposure to female odors can influence reproductive aging and mortality in male mice. They just said there was no conclusive proof. All right. Anyways, that was entertaining. Until next time.